Welcome back to their daily Marvel Snap deck highlight here on YouTube, coming at you with one of my all-time favorite archetypes in Snap, Cerebro 2, that got an absolutely massive upgrade with Magic's recent OTA update. Now a 3/2 that still can't be played on turn 6, who on reveal creates Limbo, which adds the 7th turn of the game. Magic does two things that this Cerebro deck desperately wants. The first is, because this deck is looking to assemble a bunch of cards with the exact same highest power so they can all share in the Cerebro bonus, Magic is able to get rid of detrimental locations that would otherwise be messing up this bonus for us. She can clear things like Stark Tower or Murray Isle or locations that give you negative powers, but the 7th turn of the game is also something this archetype is incredibly interested in, because the games where you draw your namesake, Cerebro, versus the games that you don't, your deck has a huge power level difference. So not only do we gain consistency in finding the cards that we need to find every game more frequently, but we also get to mitigate some of that location variance. With Magic, in addition to Storm, we've got two different ways to control locations on the board, as well as Luke Cage to help us with some detrimental locations that really make it so this deck has a lot of consistency. Since we're getting to see that extra card every game as well, Luke Cage shows up more frequently, which means Hazmat becomes an excellent addition to this deck. Another weakness that this archetype had was definitely there were games where you couldn't quite go big enough with your Cerebro bonuses and your opponents would overpower you. But with Cerebro, Mystique, Blue Marvel, and Hazmat, the total number of stats that this build is able to put up into a single path actually starts to get quite tall. I think the one big thing Cerebro 2 has going for it over other variations is the fact that we get to play Brood as well as Mr. Sinister here that put multiple bodies into play, giving this deck the ability to consistently fill all 12 spots on the board, letting you contest all 3 paths with pretty similar amounts of power. Spider-Ham's recent nerf in the OTA was also a buff for it inside of this deck, giving us another powerful disruptive tool with 2 power. The Iceman, Goose, Spider-Ham, and even Hazmat and Luke Cage slots to a degree are all things you can play with if you're missing these cards, you want to try their things. Other just powerful 2-power cards, things like Scorpion, Korg, even M'Baku are all things you can play depending on what your play style is. At any rate, I hope you enjoy the game highlights that I have for you today. I think we do an excellent job of showcasing the consistency that this deck brings to the board with this Magic change. If you do enjoy what you see, snap that like button. For the rest of the day, have some fun with some Cerebro 2 action. I was not a fan of Hazmat in this archetype previously because she was just so useless when you didn't draw Cage, but you just draw Cage so much more consistently. The extra turn. That felt really good.
Victory.
I mean, my degree is in mathematics, so math's a gen ed class. I only have a graduate degree, so I taught like first and second year calculus, statistics, finite, those type of topics for math. I taught at a couple different colleges in the central Illinois area. 2 out of 3 are actually closed now. 2 out of 4 are closed now. Pandemic was a little rough. Is there a difference post-infinite ranked improving ground for testing decks? Yeah, I get silver tickets when I play proving grounds, which is nice. What did you do to those colleges? I know, right? They did draw Magic, so they could Magic our flooding here. If you want to know the size and type of town that I live in, we have a sweet corn festival every fall here. That can be fun. No, it's a ton of fun. That tells me everything I need to know. I know. I wasn't for just for the record. I wasn't knocking the sweet corn yet. It just also does in fact tell you everything that you need to know about where I live. It's not a complaint or a criticism. It is merely an accurate descriptor. This? Yeah? Yeah. If the Raptors hadn't been here, we would have gotten to Hazmat as well and really go to town. Does 6 feeling better the more we play it? I think we might have had some bad variants the first couple. Honestly, I did a quick Google search to see what town it was, but it didn't help because there are multiple Illinois towns and cities with sweet corn festivals. That's true, you know. Yes, turn 7 allowed Mystique to get here is accurate. This is a deck that's always wanted more ways to mitigate location variance and more ways to find Cerebro and Mystique. And this new Magic design does both of those things. All right, I think we just fill up the old Great Web and then just not worry about it. Hold on, Birdman. Thank you for the half a year. Welcome back. Mr. Cage, we appreciate your service, Mr. Cage. A good She-Hulk split. Remember, they can move something out of here over into the hub path. Go Mystique into Goose Iceman. This gives me 24 over here. They can't play it a Great Web. Yeah, but they can like hope something else slides into it with higher stats, right? Goose, Iceman, and Maverick. Yep. Ooh, are they gonna beat 24 on the right? Alright, then they have 2 cards that don't get lockjaw. I can't tell what this is, chat. It's 8, 11. It's 1 power. It must be a Waspa. Oh yeah, there we go. We haven't played that much Gold Conquest, mostly Silver. I think we're at 4 or 5 infinite tickets. So the Marvel here is stellar. Turn 1 Ham, stopping their turn 2 Sarah is lovely. Huh? Do I want copies of Blue Marvel or copies of Mystique? Or copies of Cerebro? That's a close one. Cerebro's gotta be more power, right? Yeah, probably. Probably. Got me. Oh no! I can't make any more Cerebros. How will we ever win the game now, chat? Got me. Mr. Sinister Shang-Chi. Patriot? Snap on one, champ. Mistakes were made. Yeah, Shang-Chi's not super common in Patriot, but it's also not super uncommon either. Some of those things are just like, when you see it, you're like, yeah, that's a thing people do. I think no 6s favors me. I think, despite having the Blue Marvel in hand, I want to big house this other compound. Could be a little loosey-goosey, yeah.
Clear for takeoff.
Geek's our best draw here, obviously. Hazmat. It's not terrible. It's a world where that wins the game, right? I think we're living in it, chat. I think we're living in it.
Victory.
Seeing them be responsive with buffs in addition to responsive with nerfs is awesome. Replacement for Ham, Scorpion. Ant-Man. I just want to storm the Xandar. Disrupts our Cerebro bonus we have for a change. I locked them out of playing things to their invisible a bit later. I will say, being able to magic plus 2 drop on 5 feels real good. Get to like hip check with Spider Ham for a 6 drop before you head on in. Tried Echo and Cerebro too. I do not think the current Marvel stat meta game is conducive to playing Echo. I do not think there are problems in this format that are solved by putting that card in my deck. We have to go Blue Marvel into Cage Hazmat Cerebro here. It's real solid. Do I need the Hazmat, or is that worse than just having more stats? The Hazmat's probably worse than just having more stats, so let's just do this. Hey, half-half. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back.
I am Iron Man.
Victory.
That's all. Snap the like button if you'd be so kind, and check back in again tomorrow for another highlight.